Greetings, beautiful soul. My name is Anthea Fenton, and today I'm going to just introduce you to my series of audios. This is the first one, which is around childhood trauma. So you'll find more information about me at antheafenton.com, where I nurture seedlings to reach their full potential with storytelling, play and healing. So the infinity healing that I've chosen as a modality is one of the most effective healing modalities. In fact, it's number one. What I love about it is that it helps to speed up the balance, transformation and effectiveness with regards to healing. It covers areas of limiting beliefs, fears that are deep-seated from the root and that may be a bit stuck, ancestral, childhood traumas, parenting, programming from TV and social media, past life experiences, memories, DNA, generational. So today, my specialist area is childhood trauma, in particular, scarcity and struggle. So I've already asked for the guides to be with us today, and I really just want to spend the next 10-15 minutes going through this healing modality to help to support you, to bring you what you need from your highest good. So I'm going to go through the actual process. I hope that you enjoy it. Know that you're in control of this, and it will become clear as we're going along. But my focus today is really about clearing those blocks and removing anything that no longer serves you around scarcity and struggle. I've worked for over 40 years with people who have been affected by childhood traumas, myself included. And one of the things that I was saddened about is how many people keep their traumas a secret. So I'm here to make it my mission to support people to break the silence, which is why storytelling is part of what I do. In order to break people's silence, I needed to break my own silence. And so an additional book that I've got is called The Journey of Innocence. And when I wrote this book, I knew that I wasn't comfortable with just sharing 21 years of my first years of life here on earth. I wasn't just happy about just showing one side of it, because there was a lot of trauma on a physical, emotional, spiritual and mental level. But I wanted to bring balance, and so I present my work coupled with infinity healing. So it makes the two come together. So it shares the dark, but it also brings the light, and together they're transmuted. So thank you for joining me on this special audio. So I'm just going to ask that you have your feet on the ground if you're able to. And we're just going to connect with your higher self, your guides and your team, so they can be with us as we ground ourselves into receiving what is best for our highest good with regards to healing and releasing and removing blocks for this audio. So if you can imagine as we sit, as we're imagining, I'm just going to ask you to take 3 deep belly breaths. So in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as we're breathing in and breathing out, I'm just going to ask you to imagine a beam of light that's coming through the crown chakra, the top of your head. And that beam of light, as you continue breathing really deep into the belly, because we're going to go all the way down into the Mother Earth. So we're coming from Father Sky, and we're asking this light to link us and to ground us into the earth. So it's going through our crown. It's going past our third eye in the middle of our head. And continue to breathe in and out, and then breathe back out again. As we're breathing out, this energy is coming down, further down, it's coming into our throat. And our throat chakra is an area that often we can be quite silent in this area of childhood traumas, when maybe our voices were not heard. So we're just imagining that light going down into our throat chakra and really illuminating any dark areas that are lingering around there. It goes to our heart, and sometimes we can feel that our heart's been broken as a result of some of the traumas that we've had to carry as young people. So we're asking for that light to go through past our heart and illuminate our heart and shine into all those dark areas and into our solar plexus. And that's an area where our intuition, that gut feeling, sometimes we could have buried many things in that area. So we're asking for that light to shine through and beam through. We're going down to our solar plexus, from our solar plexus to our sacral. And then to our root. And that's the place where we're going to be really illuminating some light to help to bring about balance. And that's our place of often our root chakra, where we can feel quite powerless. We can surrender that up. We're going to be accessing and releasing that today. And so we're going down, the light's beaming down from our hips, down our thighs, our knees, our calves, our ankles, straight down into our feet, straight down into all those different layers of Mother Earth. It's going down, going through all that, the essence, right into the core. And as it hits the core, you can feel it anchor, it locks in, and it then travels back up the feet, the ankles, the calves, the knees, the thighs, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, and it comes into our heart. And we take a deep breath in and we breathe out. We take another deep breath, and as we're taking that breath and we start breathing out, we're breathing out the energy into our physical, our etheric, our mental, emotional, our spiritual layers, and we take it further out. We take another deep breath in and we go out, and we go out further from the room that we're in, to the building, to the city, the town, the country. We expand it out to our neighbouring countries, and then beyond those, out into the whole world. We're breaking through timelines and different dimensions all the way out through the planet. And now I'm just going to ground this activation and explain the process. So I'm activating the Infinity Healing Energetic Template, and in a moment I'm going to ask you a series of questions. If you would like to receive the healing associated with each question, then simply say yes, because it's in the yes that you speak out aloud that releases the energy that maybe has been blocking you and not serving you. So the template is now activated. And would you like to receive an infinity healing to clear anything in the way of you receiving the maximum during this session? If so, say yes. Would you like to receive an infinity healing to clear everything in the way of you releasing the maximum during this session? If you would like to receive that, say yes. And if there is any part of you that is interfering with, doesn't understand, is sabotaging, or is afraid of what is available for you today, would you like to receive a process to move those parts of you aside, show them what is happening from the highest possible perspective, so that all aspects of you can be on board with you receiving and releasing the maximum throughout all levels of your being? If you would like to receive that, say yes. So the blocks of scarcity and struggle is our main area that we want to work on today. So many of us that have gone through trauma as a young child, and it's very interesting because it's so easy for our ego mind to want to protect us, and so that was really important to share, that sometimes we can sabotage ourselves because of the damage that has been caused at an early age, and maybe, you know, really intense damage can affect us for the rest of our lives. And often when we're struggling, we don't always think back to when we were a child and how that really affected us. So if you would like to receive an infinity healing to release that mindset that has us playing in that space of scarcity and struggle, and it's affecting our lives now, if you would like to receive an infinity healing to release that programming, then say yes. If you would like to receive an infinity healing to release those feelings of being unsupported and unloved, because often what comes along with scarcity is that there's maybe been a scarcity around attention, around our parenting, our parents. Maybe they didn't provide us with the support and the love that we really felt we needed, and that we felt we missed. So there was a sense of misunderstandings, there was a sense of lack, a sense of miscommunication. If you would like to receive an infinity healing to release all those density of energies around feeling unsupported and unloved, then say yes. If you would like to receive an infinity healing around feeling alone and never good enough, always feeling that there was some form of shame or guilt and blame. And again, these will be things that have been passed down in terms of your heritage, your DNA. I know it certainly was in mine. But somebody has to release them. Somebody has to accept that they're not, they have to own them. Because it's in the owning and naming of these emotions and behaviours and patterns, it's in the owning them and releasing them that they can affect not just our lifetimes but all the lifetimes in front of us. So if you would like to release any trapped energies, any imbalance around blame, shame, guilt, around aloneness and never being good enough, if you'd like to receive the healing associated, then say yes. And often we can manifest insecurities in our relationships as a result of our experiences as a child. We can often, almost by a pattern, where we attract reminders, people that remind us about our insecurities and our experiences as a child. So if that's a pattern that you're noticing and you want to release that once and for all, then we acknowledge that and we release. If you'd like to release and receive the infinity healing around insecurity and around the insecurity of relationships, then say yes. And in order to be able to release these, we also reckon all these areas, we recognise to receive. Sometimes to receive can be such a tough thing. And as a child, there's been a lack. So as a child, you've had a lack of receiving and knowing what it's like to receive. So if you would like to receive an infinity healing on opening up your heart to receive love, feeling able to accept that abundance, to accept that well of love without feeling any shame or guilt or blame, just to release and just to accept it for what it is without attachment, then say yes. Because what comes along with receiving such abundance is that sense of worth, that you are worthy, and that you are a divine being who's full of potential, of life and living, whose greatness is yet to be seen, whose abundance is due to flow with ease and grace. From here to infinity. Are you ready to accept your abundance? If you would want to receive that infinity healing, to accept the truth of who you are in your abundance, say yes. And now we're just going to allow a minute or two for integration. And as that integration is taking place, I also want to give you the opportunity to be placed upon an autopilot. And what that means is that the energies that you're currently receiving will be on autopilot until you receive the maximum shift that is possible for you in terms of releasing that scarcity and struggle and working hard mentality from our psyche, from our cells, from now to infinity. So if you would like to receive the maximum shift with the autopilot command, then say yes. We want to now ground the activation that we've just done, so know that this is running for you until you receive the maximum in terms of the shift. So let's bring in our energies, let's bring them back in from the time dimensions and from all the planetaries. We're coming all the way back from the world, back into the country, the town that you're in, the village, the building, the walls that surround you, and the room that you're in, all the way back from the spiritual layer, the mental, the emotional, the etheric, the physical, back into your heart. And we're coming up from Mother Earth, bringing the energy up into our feet, our ankles, our calves, our knees, our thighs, our hips, our root chakra, the sacral, the solar plexus, into the heart. We're bringing it all back in. Deep breath here. And then we're bringing it up into our throat, to our third eye, our crown, all the way up into the sky. And then we're coming back down with another breath. And we're breathing it out, and we're bringing it down into our heart and back into our feet. And we're grounding, and we are thanking. And I often just place my hand on my heart when I'm doing this to really appreciate the journey that we've been on, and that will continue until you receive the maximum that is required for you. And we just thank God, Source, Universe, for being with us and for taking us on this journey, and for continuing to do the amazing work that our higher self does without us even asking. And that it's so important when we connect in to be able to know that we've got helpers that are there just waiting for us to ask. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being with us on this special journey. I just want to remind you, just in case you've never listened to one of my audios before, but drink plenty of water. Many people talk about feeling very thirsty during infinity healing. That's all part of the symptoms. You will have maybe purging symptoms, and they can take different forms. Just know yourself. Just know that it's all natural. Just stay grounded. Feel free to reach out to me, AnthiaFenton.com. Be mindful of your dreams and any small shifts that take place, some inner guidance, any synchronicities. They're all part of the process of infinity healing. Also, different sensations that you may feel throughout your body. It's all perfectly normal. Do note them down and be in touch, because it's always amazing to hear other people's stories around how they felt with regards to this amazing healing modality. Thank you very much for listening. I am Anthea Fenton from AnthiaFenton.com, nurturing seedlings to reach their full potential of flourishing and blossoming with storytelling, play and healing. And you've listened to the childhood trauma of scarcity and struggle, removing those blocks. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye for now.